Hello everybody, good afternoon. Today I'm going to take you on a virtual field trip to show you some ecosystems. And whether you realize it or not, you have an ecosystem right in your backyard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my backyard. As you know, I live in an apartment complex, but we still have a lot of things going on, and I'm going to take you on a tour of my backyard. While we're on this tour, I'd like you to jot down what you see and make some observations about my backyard and what abiotic and biotic things you may see in this backyard. Now you may be asking, what does abiotic mean and what does biotic mean? Well, abiotic means that it's non-living or never have lived, and biotic means that it is living. So when we do this, make sure that you take that into consideration while you're making your observations. The first thing I see as I walk out my door is a bird's nest. It's up in the rafters or over on top of a downspout, and I believe it's a robin. I've seen a robin come and go throughout the day, so we leave it there. I'm sure there are eggs in there, but we don't want to get up there and disturb it. As you can see, I live along the Blackstone River, and it runs rather quickly around my area. This is part of my backyard, and as I get closer to the river, I'm going to pan over to, there's a huge waterfall. We'll get a closer look at that when we go up that area. But as you can see, there's a lot of different types of vegetation. There's some bushes here. There are more little small trees and a lot of grassy area. I want you to think about what might live in these trees or what might live on the ground, because the lesson we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to create an ecosystem. Now, if you can see, I don't know if I don't want to spook the birds, but there are some birds down here. Usually in the morning, we have a lot of ducks and geese. I don't see any this afternoon, but they are quite active during the day. So there we have it. Somebody has put some bird feeders out, not bird houses, and they're kept all year long. And I'm walking down a path to the riverbank and showing you some of the things in the river. Now, this you may think is pollution, but it's actually just it's foam that is caused by the water flowing so rapidly that it gets caught up in little culverts. And here's some more areas, and you can see a lot of vegetation along the rocks. What kind of animals you might think would live in these rocks or on this riverbank? I'm sure there's quite a few. So we're just gonna walk through here and see what we can find. There's some more trees and bushes through here. Some nice trees here, nice bush here. And around the corner here, as you'll see, we have some rhododendron that you may even have in your backyard. Okay, these rhododendrons, they bloom early in the spring and are probably almost ready to fall off, but we still have rhododendrons. I see a fly, if you can see it in the video. And there are a lot of bumblebees out today that are pollinating. Now, last week we talked about asexual reproduction. I want you to think about how sometimes plants do reproduce asexually, and what plants you might think reproduce asexually. Now, here's a flowering plant. I'm not sure what it is, but as you can see, as I touch the flowers, those are seeds that will fall off, and eventually more plants will grow from that. And as we walk down towards the riverbank, there are more vegetation, a lot of different types of plants. And if you are inclined to, look up some plant leaves and some plant flowers and try to figure out what kind of plants these might be. Okay, but this is my backyard. This is what I wake up to every morning when I take the dog for a walk. This is what I see. And here's the waterfall. Again, a close-up look at the waterfall. And some more vegetation as we walk towards this area. So as we got closer to the riverbank, you can see there's a lot more vegetation down here. Why do you suppose there's this much vegetation closer to the river? Look at the different types of vegetation. Now I know there's a lot of poison ivy down there, so I'm not going to walk down there. But again, you can see the waterfall. What kind of animals do you think might live in a river that runs this fast? Now once we're going to walk up behind the waterfall, and where it's calmer and we can see what's going on over there. I'm now standing right at the waterfall, and you can hear the roaring of the water. It's actually pretty high right now since we've had so much rain. But as you look down the river, or upriver I should say, you can see how much calmer the water is and how it's flowing. A lot of people come here to do some canoeing and kayaking as well. So this is just up beyond the waterfall itself. So here we are on the north side of the waterfall. You see it's nice and calm. The water's flowing very slowly, and in the distance I can see ripples in the water where there might be some animal life happening. And right now I'm sure we would, in a more still area, we could probably find maybe some frogs and some turtles. And if the sun were out, they'd be basking in the sun. Now down here is a little culvert, and I'm going to take a closer look at the water. We get near the water here, and maybe we can see some types of different vegetation in the water, or even possibly some animal life. There's a lot of bugs right now. I don't know if you can see them. A lot of birds flying around. Right now they're nesting, and they're getting ready to hatch their eggs. We'll keep an eye on the robin's nest. There's something that just, I think it was a little fish that just poked up. But there's a lot of, we'll keep an eye, as I said, on the bird's nests and watch for the eggs. And once they hatch, we can see maybe get a glimpse of the mother or father feeding the birds, the baby birds. So that's the trip I'm taking you on today. What I'm going to do in the next few days is we're going to create our own ecosystem, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm going to send off a vocabulary list along with this video, so you have a list of vocabulary that you need to know, and maybe use during your lessons. So until then, I will talk to you later. Have a great afternoon. Be safe and be well. I miss all of you.